Welcome, folks. Welcome again to Dominant Mets Nation. And it is official. It is official. The Mets have officially declared themselves sellers, and they are done for 2023. And let the floodgates open. Get rid of everyone. And tonight, it is starting with their star relief pitcher, David Robertson. Their number one chip is gone. So that we are going to break down the trade tonight. Of course, the Mets, they beat the Nationals 2-1, and I got to say, it was a very slow game. When the Nationals went up 1-0, I'm like, the Nationals are going to win it 1-0. But the Mets came back. They won it after a rain delay, 2-1. But the story is David Robertson. So we're going to talk about Robertson. But if you're a big Met fan, if you love your New York Mets, please like and subscribe. Because in this community, we love our Mets. We love conversating back and forth with each other. And this is the best time right now. It looks like the Mets are going to be rebuilding. We're going to be bringing up the kids. And you know what? This is exciting. I love this stuff. So, all right, I'm going to give you my reaction. And there's a lot of stuff right now. I was just checking out Twitter. I was just checking out people's comments. And, of course, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like the Mets are the laughingstock. Eppler blows it again. And I'll be honest with you. I am freaking concerned about this Billy Eppler guy. I mean, I saw the reaction. My instant reaction to the package. The Mets got two minor league guys from the Miami Marlins. And to be specific, the two guys that the Mets got, they traded away David Robertson, and they acquired an infielder by the name of Marco Vargas and another minor league catcher by the name of Ronald Hernandez. These two guys are very young. As soon as I saw this package, I'm like, Billy, I was hoping this guy would have a bidding war. We would get a guaranteed top 10, top 5 prospect. I know that was pie in the sky, but this was our number one prospect. I mean, our number one chip, our blue chip. So as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh no, he blew it again. And you know what? There is probably a 90% chance he did blow it. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me relax. Let me just break it down and read up about these guys. Look at the potential. So right now, the Marlins, they did bring up a lot of their top tier talent within the last couple years. So they don't have like a farm system that they did years ago. Years ago, they were a top rated system. So I was trying to see, where was this guy ranked? Where were these two gentlemen ranked that we acquired? So the first guy I mentioned is Marco Vargas. I'm going to read you a little bit about him. I'm still learning myself about this guy. So he is their 18th ranked prospect, and he is 18 years old. He is 6 foot. He weighs 170 pounds, and he's a very young guy right now. He is a very young guy. Right now, the scouting grades on him is his hitting tool is his best feature. He has a hit tool of 55, power 45, so he doesn't have much power right now. His run is 45, so he's got a mediocre speed. His arm is 50, his field is 50, and his overall is 45. So when I look at that, I don't really, those scouting grades don't jump off the page at me. You know, he was 18th ranked prospect, but he's a young up-and-coming guy, and I hope the Mets did the homework on this. I hope this is a guy that, you know what, scouts are saying he's going to come around. So what MLB.com says is Vargas looks to be a bargain of Miami's 2022 international class after signing for $17,500 out of Mexico. They signed him last year when Vargas was 17. 3 weeks later, he reported to Rookie League in the Dominican summer, where he recorded 3 multi-hit games in his first 6 pro games. He batted .319, .423 on base, and a 456 slug, and he actually won the MVP team honors in his first pro set of game. So, very promising. Vargas is an extremely advanced hitter for his age, showing the ability to recognize pitches, control the strike zone, and employ to the opposite field. So he's good at taking pitches and going to the opposite field. And that is actually very significant because a lot of young hitters tend to pull everything. So if he's very disciplined and he goes with the pitchers to the opposite field, that is very impressive at that young age of 18. Okay, so he has a quick left-handed stroke, so he's a left-handed hitter. He has a good feel for the barrel, and he makes a lot of hard line drive contact. He already has strong lower half. He has a strong lower half body, and will focus on adding muscle to his upper body. They project that once he does do that, he could potentially be a guy who hits 15 to 20 home runs per season. Though he possesses fringy speed, Vargas is an instinctual base runner. So he's not the fastest guy, but he's got good instincts. He shows good actions, average range, and arm strength at second base, which is his best position. He spent much of his debut at third, where he made 7 errors in 22 games, so that is not good. He's got to work on his defense. Okay, so that was what the MLB scouts kind of think of him. That is a little bit of backstory. So this year in 2023, he has played in 33 games so far. He has 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. He has an average of 283, an on base of 457. He has 22 strikeouts in 33 games, and he has 38 walks. So 22 strikeouts, 38 walks, that is not bad. The guy clearly has a good eye for the zone. And as you know, I was upset after seeing this trade, and I thought we got a very underwhelming package back. But after seeing this guy's numbers, I think this kid has tools. I really do. He's 6 foot. He's got good fundamentals, good size, 6 foot. Right now he's a little light. He's 170, but supposedly going to add muscle. But I like the fact that he's got a 457 on base in 33 games. His OPS is almost 900. It's 899. That is very impressive for a young 18-year-old. In fact, last year he played 53 games and he batted .319. His on base last year was .421, and he hit 2 home runs, 38 RBIs. He walked a lot. So you know what? This kid's. It seems like the Mets might have got something. He's very disciplined. He knows the strike zone. He walks a lot, and his best tool is hitting. So if he somehow develops power, the Mets might have something. But what more importantly tells me about this trade, obviously that they're going to be sellers. It tells me that they're going to have more of a long-term vision. This is an 18-year-old. He's projected, even if he has a good 3 or 4 years, he wouldn't be ready until 2026. He's projected to be ready by 2027, but it tells me that the Mets have changed their approach, right? I was looking for the Mets to get like prospect-ready guys who are ready to help the ball club next year, but I like that they are being patient. The fact that they're being patient and they're changing the whole philosophy tells me that they actually are reevaluating how they are doing things, and they realize they have to do things differently. Now, I still am scared out of my mind at Billy Eppler being in charge of these trades, but the fact that they shifted philosophy right now really is a good thing. So now let's go shift over to the second part of the package, and let's look at the catching prospect, Ronald Hernandez. So Ronald Hernandez, and let me bring up his stats. Ronald Hernandez was the 21st rated prospect in the Marlins system, and Ronald he's young as well. He's 19 years old. He's 5'11". He weighs 155 pounds, so he is very, very light. He is a switch hitter, and he throws right-handed. So, I mean, I know everybody's like, he's another catching prospect, but you never know. He's a chip. He's a chip right now. And he's a young guy. His hit grade is 50. He's got a 40 power grade, so he doesn't have much power at all. His run is 35 grade. His arm is 55. His fielding grade is 55 as well, and his overall is 40. So when I saw him, he looked like more of a defensive project, a defensive-minded catcher. Clearly not an offensive catcher. He's not a Parada. He's definitely not an Alvarez. So let's look at the backstory. The Marlins signed their two best catching prospects 6 months apart, landing Hernandez with an $850,000 signing bonus out of Venezuela in January before drafting Joe Mack. Okay, we don't care about him. Hernandez has less offensive upside, but is more of an advanced defender. So, like I said, his skill right now is on the defensive end. He slashed .236, .329 on base, and .321 slug in his rookie-level Florida complex. He is a steady receiver. Hernandez is agile behind the plate and does a nice job of blocking balls. He has a solid plus arm and has showed improvement throwing accuracy in 2022. He erased 33% of the base stealers last year, so that's good. He's good at throwing out runners. He works hard in his craft. He is diligent in preparing for games, displaying leadership skills, and communicating with pitchers in either English or Spanish. While he hasn't posted big offensive numbers, Hernandez has a sound swing from both sides of the plate and makes consistent contact to all fields. He has the patience to work counts and should improve offensively as he adds more strength and experience. He could provide 12 to 15 home runs per season once he develops. Okay, so clearly Ronald Hernandez is a defensive guy right now, and he's going to be an offensive project. This year, his numbers are he's batting .298 in 31 games, so that's good. He's got a good average, so his hit tool does seem to be, he puts the contact. He's a contact hitter. He has 3 home runs, 25 RBIs. His on base is .464. Wow. So, I notice right now the Mets, Sandy Alderson used to be a guy who his philosophy was getting guys with high on base. These two guys the Mets acquired, very young guys, but they are very proficient at getting on base. That just stands out. That really stands out. And the fact that that's so important is that these young guys are so developed at knowing what a strike is, knowing the strike zone. So that is very promising. So I'm just gonna have to take a step back with this right now. My instant gut reaction was, this is horrible. Billy Eppler is really continuing the story that the Mets are a laughingstock. He's really continuing that theme, but I really got to give the guy a break right now, because how the heck can we evaluate these guys? They're so far away from being major leaguers. I'm hoping they don't fizzle out. These are far from sure prospects. In fact, no prospects are sure things, but if the scouts and Billy Eppler did their homework and they had all the time in the world, it seems like the Mets the only thing the Mets really did that was good for the front office is they showed them that they should have been sellers a long time ago. So they had all the time in the world to scout teams, to see how they were going to evaluate. But bottom line, we can't really evaluate the trade into the future. I feel that we should have been waiting maybe a day or two to create some type of bidding war. I don't know. Maybe there was a bidding war. I always feel like you hold out your best prospect or your best chip until the end. Possibly not the end, but maybe Sunday night, possibly even tomorrow night. I don't know. It doesn't have a right feel that our best prospect, I keep saying prospect, our best chip went first, and it seems like we got an underwhelming return. That's the inclination I get. But, then again, I have to keep telling myself that there's no way for us to really truly know how these two prospects are because they are so young. So what do you think about that? How do you feel about the return? How do you feel about Billy Eppler conducting this trade season? I mean, as you know, I'm nervous as hell. I feel like they should really be trading like 13 players. I mean, I want to trade everybody. David Robinson is the tip of the iceberg right now. My other video that I posted earlier today, I named 13 guys out of the 25-man roster that should be gone. Essentially, you keep your core right now. You keep Nimmo, you keep Alonso. Obviously, you keep the young guns, Alvarez. This should be a fun season. It's not going to be the season we expected, but nonetheless, for me, it's always fun to see young, up-and-coming talent. We don't have superstars right now, young superstars, like we did, like really in the past, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. We actually had some talent. I mean, like, remember in 2015, we had Harvey, who was supposed to be a young and up-and-comer, Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Michael Conforto. We had 4 or 5 guys who were making the All-Star team, and it was really exciting. Now we just basically have Pete Alonso, and that's it. And he went cold the last month and a half. It has been crickets in terms of talent, young talent. It really has. I mean, seeing a guy like Francisco Alvarez develop, I mean, that is what keeps me going as a Met fan. That's what I love to see. I cannot wait to see Ronnie Mauricio. And I just saw recently, I think within the last day or so, I saw one publication. They said that Ronnie Mauricio was our number one prospect. And just so everyone knows, and I'm pretty sure everybody who usually watches my videos are very well informed. I mean, I'm so lucky in this community that everybody who follows the channel is so well informed. But just in case anybody got the latest numbers, the latest numbers of Ronnie Mauricio, he's played in 88 games. He has 16 home runs, 56 RBIs, 15 stolen bases. He has a 296 batting average. He has 109 hits in 88 games. Wow. I mean, Mauricio's really turning it on this year. I mean, he started out like a house of fire. He's got an on base of 345, slugging of 505, and his OPS is 851. So I mean, I can't wait to see the kid. I hope they bring him up ASAP. I really do. And I was actually, before the Mets were declaring themselves as sellers, like last month, I was so high on Mauricio. I'm like, hey, you know what? If there was somebody out there that the Mets could acquire, and they chose to trade like a Brett Beatty, because Brett Beatty had decent value about like a month and a half, 2 months ago, I was like, bring Mauricio up, have him play third base. But that's not even an option right now. Play all the kids, Mauricio, Beatty, Alvarez. You bring up Blake Tidwell. He's another young pitcher. So all the young guys on the Mets, we should see what they got. See exactly what we have, what talent we have. Then next year, we supplement these young guys with talent that we can get in the free agency. We use our resources. We use our money. And right now, we just collect as much talent. Trade everyone. So these are my feelings. Like I said, and my question is, did you feel like I did? Did you feel automatically like we got fleeced? I mean, I felt like we got fleeced. I mean, all the other fan bases right now are kind of making fun of us, but it is what it is right now. It's unfortunate that as New York Met fans, we always got to put up with this crap. I mean, it happens. You have that passion and love for your team, and they constantly seem to let us down. But those are my opinions on the players that we acquired, and we will go forward and see how things go. I am hoping for the best, and I will be on top of any trades that the Mets happen. I have work. I work usually till 3 or 4, so as soon as I get home, I look at the Mets news, and then I'll do a video. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go Mets. We got to be positive in such negative times. The Mets did win today. 2-1. We didn't really go over that. Like I said, it was a slow game. The Mets, Senga, he pitched very well. That's one of our bright spots. Unfortunately, the Nationals went ahead 1-0, and I thought that was it. But luckily, the Mets, they pulled it out after the rain delay, and we won. And it was funny. Robertson, he got up to warm up, I think, before the rain delay was declared, and then I guess they sat him down because they figured obviously he was being traded. But I found that ironic that he actually put him in the game, or not in the game, but they had him warming up. It would be just so like the Mets, the guy gets in the game, gets injured, and the trade gets kaput. But luckily, that did not happen. All right. That is all, folks. Can't get any worse. Probably will. That's been how the season's been going. And, I apologize about the flag. I'm noticing on the camera it's a little crooked. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, have a great night. And I will talk to you soon.